Hey guys, D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the Dead by Daylight 8.0.2 bug fix patch. I didn't even know this happened. I just noticed that the game was updating one day, and I wasn't able to get to it until now. It's a couple days after it went launched that I'm recording this, but this will be up a lot later because, I have so many videos scheduled, you kind of have to, it takes a bit for some of them. Anyways, content. Environment / maps. In the Forgotten Ruins map, at least 4 hooks will now always be available in the dungeon section of the map. I don't really fully know what that means. I think in the PTB there was like 2, maybe 1 or 2. There wasn't many, so I guess that probably was a bit of a zone where it was trickier for killers to get hooks, so they probably did that to help out, I guess. In the Forgotten Ruins map, passage locations have been adjusted to avoid being directly beside vaults and pallets. Yeah, that is kind of a problem. That was a problem for what I remember in the PTB. When I played in the PTB, there was a lot of vaults and stuff and pallets. Like, you couldn't really. So it's not. So I mean, definitely nice that they adjusted some stuff. And then the last environment map thing, at least the time I hear, is just passage and interaction time has been extended by 0.15 seconds for survivors and shortened by 0.25 seconds for killers. Interesting. So it actually takes longer for survivors, but less time for killers. That's interesting. Characters. The Lich. I also don't know, some of these, I just want to mention real quick, just take a few seconds. Usually I check to see how long these are because I know it's not fun to just listen to me yawn a whole bunch because that tends to happen a lot of times I record. I didn't look at how long this one was, so if it ends up being super long, I apologize. I just kind of press play. I just kind of got everything set up and went for it. Characters the Lich. Increased the Mage Hand powerlifting time from 0.45 seconds to 0.5 seconds. So I'm assuming they did that because it wasn't long enough for it to be super useful. So they probably updated it for that reason. Or maybe it like went away too fast, so then survivors were able to keep like using those pallets. Either way, I mean, that's a nice little change. It, buffs Mage Hand got buffed. That's pretty cool. Increased the volume on Flight of the Damned skeleton spawn to give better awareness to survivors. That's fair. I struggled using that. I really like Flight of the Damned. That's easily one of my favorite parts of his power. It's just really fun for me to shoot out a bunch of skeletons. But in the PTB, I was using the Iridescent add-on where you actually have less skeletons. You have less skeletons, but I think they do a lot more. So it's like yeah, you have less skeletons, but they have increased stuff that they can do, and that did not help me out very much. But that's fair to help out survivors a little bit just with hearing them. I think that's fair because the power still is solid. It's just the volume is a little higher. Add-on Ring of Telekinesis. Activating Mage Hand on upward pallet increases your general vault speed by 10% for the next 8 seconds. Interesting. And finally, add on Vorpal Sword, increasing time to break pallet from 2.2 seconds to 3.2 seconds. So it actually takes longer to break pallets by 1 second. I'm assuming they had to nerf that by increasing its, I'm assuming they had to nerf that because, and of course by nerfing it, I mean they increased its time, probably just because it took too long. I'm assuming it just took too long. Like it just well, like it just you broke. I'm assuming you just broke Palace Best. Bug fixes anniversary. Interesting. I actually haven't yet to play during the anniversary event as of recording this. It sounds like I might be maybe soon, but I don't know. Fix an issue that caused some VFXs to appear late when a player that was far away approaches the location where they appeared. Canceling an invitation pillar interaction no longer causes the gold glitter VFX to linger and and fail to respawn the scroll atop the pillar. The dancing marionettes no longer clipless to ceiling of their combos. I have no idea what those are yet. But that sounds interesting. I'm assuming they're just like decorations on maps for the event. That would make sense. Survivors' pools of blood no longer disappear very rapidly after the effects of the quiet mode ability is over. Oh. Archives. Fix an issue where progress could not be made with some iterations of the Bronze Age challenge. Fix an issue where multiple recent tomes were using the same cover color in the compendium screen of the archives. Okay. Characters. I wish I liked how long this was because some of these get really long. I should have done that, but it's whatever. The faster I read this, the faster we'll be done. Characters. Fix an issue where the Lich's hand teleports away from the survivor for a frame at the end of the assimilate animation. Fix an issue where the Lich can be seen entering the passage during the selection animation. Fix an issue that costs a few killers motion trail VFX to not play correctly. The Lich's spell indicator VFX no longer becomes distorted when players change to first person FOV while full screen / window full screen on ultra wide monitor. The hand of Vecna's locker smoke VFX no longer appears before the locker doors open and survivors fast exit a destination locker after Hellborn. Survivors no longer obtain items from the Lich's chest in a dying state. It is no longer possible for Zara to teleport to the locker room on Temple Purgation with the Hand of Vecna. The simulated Hand of Vecna no longer jitters and becomes desynced with the survivor's arm when moving. The animation of the Lich's chest can no longer be skipped as the survivor presses the interaction button while the animation is playing. Fixing the issue where the Blight might not enter the fatigue state after destroying a wall pallet with a rushed attack. Interesting. Environment / maps. Fix an issue in Garden of Joy where a survivor could climb on the rock on the edge of the map. So I'm assuming this point for this, because it's just like a bug fix patch, like a lot of the stuff that I read earlier, besides maybe the whole like killer thing of like we're just talking about bug fix having desync issues and stuff. Like the early on stuff of the Lich and the Dungeons and Dragon map, that's probably the only new like actual interesting changes that are gonna affect the game quite a bit. The rest of these seem to be, I'm gonna finish rating them all, but just kind of glancing at them, they look to be more so like just bug fixes that don't really matter. Just like weird animations and weird photo words. At the end of the day, they don't, really matter towards anything. Fix an issue in Temple Purgation where content of the map could block the collision of the killers only. Fix an issue in Larry's Hospital where the killer could not pick up a survivor that was crawling against a blocker. Fix an issue in the Forgotten Ruins where a placeholder tile would appear in the environment. Fix an issue in the Forgotten Ruin. Fix an issue in Decimated Borga where a blocker would prevent the killer from passing. Fix an issue in Larry's Hospital, again, where a survivor on a hook would prevent the killer from navigating. Fix an issue in Toba's Landing, where the survivor could run on the railing of the stairs. Survivors entering a passage at the same time no longer get stuck. Entry into a passage is no longer canceled when Victor pounces on a survivor entering a passage. Survivors no longer get stuck in the killer's collision when a killer waits for survivors at a passage's exit. The camera no longer gets stuck in the spectator's POV when the in-match survivor uses the passage while the spectator was being moried. Oh, thank God. Okay, we're actually almost done, so that kind of reinvigorates me. But perks. Illusion spawned by the Mirrored Illusion perk now correctly despawn when the code walks through it. The Mirrored Illusion perk no longer charges when an illusion is already active. The Dark Arrogance perk's bonus vault effect no longer correctly applies to other killer abilities. Miscellaneous mechas now forward the point with no fueling to 100% with no add-ons. Fix an issue that caused the entity window blocking effects not to block a window that was just unblocked after 3 consecutive rush vaults. Survivors no longer get stuck in hook state when the killer is interrupted. Okay, guys, so that's the end of it. So final thoughts. A lot of this is just, I would say, a good majority of this is just changes that don't really matter because all they really do is just like fix low animation things. But some of them do matter of like bugs where certain things work with something else that's not supposed to and whatnot. The biggest changes, though, at least in my opinion, were up here at the top. So the things I read first, like the Lich, the Mage Hand, that lifting time being longer. So the add-ons getting 2 of his add-ons getting changed. The volume of the Flying Dam Select Skeleton Spawn. And of course, the Forgotten Ruin map was now having 4 hooks in the dungeon, and then the passage being, changed a little bit. And of course, the fact that survivors take a little longer to go through, but cures go through quite a bit faster. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell. Do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot. It means a lot to us. Oh, see you guys in the next video. Bye. Bye.